what's next for Chris Eubank Jr.? I got the answer. I got the answer for you guys. But first, Chris Eubank Jr. with a record of 35 wins, 4 losses, 25 of those wins coming by way of knockout. You're talking about a guy who's coming off a defeat to Conor Benn. A treacherous defeat, in my opinion, where he looked absolutely horrible going into that fight. And as he was competing against Conor Benn, looked absolutely horrible. Conor Benn went in there with a new game plan, did not let the emotions take over him like he did in the first fight. The first fight, which was also in 2025 between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, was honestly one of the most greatest events that I have ever seen in my lifetime. From the walkouts from Chris Eubank Jr. and Chris Eubank Sr. being spotted together, coming out of that car and walking into the stadium together. Everything was absolutely perfect. You're talking about a former IBO super middleweight champion of the world, IBO middleweight champion of the world, WBA interim middleweight champion of the world, and a British middleweight champion of the world. A guy who a lot of people said should retire. Retire from the sport after taking the punishment that he has taken in back-to-back fights with Conor Benn. Well, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen, as the WBC Mauricio Sulaiman gave Chris Eubank Jr. his blessing, the good word, to allow him to compete at the 168-pound division and fight against Christian Mbili. I'm not saying that this fight is happening next, but Christian Mbili also agreed and said he would love to fight Chris Eubank Jr. He would love it. It's a super fight for Christian Mbili. A good one, possibly he could win, right? Rather than facing somebody like Canelo Alvarez, who I was predicting they were going to put up against Christian Mbili. The WBC just elevated Christian Mbili, who was the former WBC interim champion. Now, Mauricio Sulaiman says that, yes, there's a lot of opponents out there for Christian Mbili right now, but Chris Eubank Jr. can definitely be one of those. Yup. Chris Eubank Jr. might just be getting a 168-pound world title shot. And I'm not saying it's going to be the next fight, but Mauricio Sulaiman has already granted permission to Chris Eubank Jr. And now it's just a matter of when and who we're going to end up fighting. Chris Eubank Jr. selects in this 168-pound division, which he's fought before. I think in his last 6 fights, they've all been at 160 pounds. But he has fought at 168 before. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Yes, Chris Eubank Jr. has a lot of miles on the odometer. You're talking about somebody who started his career in, what, 2011? And has over, what, his record is 35 wins and 4 losses with 0 draws. That's 39 fights in professional boxing. But it's still looking to mark his stamp. And now it looks like it's going to be in the 168-pound division. Let me know what you guys think, man. Should Chris Eubank Jr. just retire from the sport, or should he start getting active in the super middleweight division? This is the MMA Boxing Addict channel reporting to you, and I'm out.